Have your legs been feeling weak, shaky, or just not as powerful as they used to be? Many seniors experience declining leg strength, often without knowing their everyday food choices are making it worse. This often comes from hidden culprits that increase inflammation, drain calcium, and mess with muscle function, a condition called sarcopenia that means age-related muscle loss. I'm a doctor with 15 years of experience working with seniors on mobility and nutrition, and I've found that removing certain foods makes a huge difference. In this video, we'll uncover 4 common foods that may be sabotaging your leg strength. Stay till the end. I'll also share a non-food bonus strategy that supports better balance and stronger legs, especially during sleep. Let's begin with one breakfast classic that's silently weakening your bones and muscles: flavored breakfast cereals. Cereal boxes might look colorful and healthy on the outside, but what happens inside your body after eating them tells a very different story. Many popular flavored breakfast cereals contain between 10 to 20 grams of added sugar per serving. That amount of sugar rapidly increases your blood glucose, which leads to a spike in insulin. This may not sound dramatic at first, but for seniors, repeated insulin surges speed up muscle protein breakdown, especially in the lower body, where large muscle groups like the quads and calves are already vulnerable to age-related decline. Excessive insulin levels also promote the storage of visceral fat, which has been linked to higher levels of systemic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is one of the major contributors to muscle wasting and joint discomfort, especially in the legs. Now, if you're relying on breakfast cereal to help you start your day feeling energized and stable on your feet, this might be doing the opposite. Are you still eating cereal every morning, thinking it's a good source of energy? Another hidden danger comes from phosphate additives, which are commonly used to improve the texture and shelf life of cereals. The problem with these phosphates is they interfere with the way your body absorbs calcium. When calcium cannot be properly absorbed, the strength and density of your bones, especially in the hips and legs, begin to decrease over time. Weak bones mean a higher risk of fractures and less support for leg muscles to function properly during walking or standing. Many cereals also promote that they're fortified with vitamins. But here's what most people don't realize. These are often synthetic forms that your body absorbs poorly, especially in older adults. For example, synthetic folic acid and vitamin B12 added to cereals can actually mask deficiencies rather than correct them, and that can worsen issues like numbness or tingling in the feet. Some brands even add artificial dyes, which are linked to oxidative stress in nerve tissues. Did you ever read the small print on your cereal box? From a nutritional standpoint, these cereals are almost always lacking in 2 key areas for seniors: magnesium and vitamin D. Magnesium, which you need around 400 milligrams daily, is essential for muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough of it, your legs may cramp, twitch, or feel heavy. Vitamin D, needed in amounts of 600 to 800 international units per day, helps regulate calcium metabolism and supports muscle strength. Most cereals contain barely trace amounts unless they are artificially added, which again come in forms the body doesn't use well. Then there's fiber, which is crucial for blood sugar stability and digestive health. Most popular brands test under 1 gram of fiber per cup. That's far from the recommended 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day that older adults should aim for. Low fiber also leads to constipation, which is more than just uncomfortable. It places pressure on pelvic muscles and lower limbs and can increase the risk of falls during strained movements. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people trusting the term whole grain without reading deeper. A cereal may advertise whole grain ingredients, but still be primarily made with refined flour and sugar. Flavored granola, sweetened oats, and so-called protein cereals often include hidden syrups, palm oil, and crisped rice. ingredients that spike glucose and contribute nothing meaningful to leg function or overall strength. So, what's a better option that doesn't harm your muscle function or bone density? Start your day with something that gives back to your body. A bowl of steel-cut oats cooked with a teaspoon of cinnamon and a tablespoon of chia seeds can stabilize blood sugar and provide essential fiber and omega-3 fatty acids. You only need half a cup of oats cooked in a cup of almond milk to get a satisfying portion that fuels your muscles without spiking insulin. Another excellent choice is a Greek yogurt parfait using 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt with a tablespoon of ground flax seeds and a small handful of berries. This combination offers protein, probiotics, and antioxidants, all crucial for reducing inflammation in the legs. When shopping for cereal, always check the nutrition label closely. Go for brands with less than 5 grams of sugar per serving, more than 4 grams of fiber, and where the first listed ingredient is 100% whole grain. Avoid options that use terms like coated, clusters, or made with honey, because these are often loaded with sugars and flavorings that harm your metabolism. If you are someone who has a hard time giving up cereal completely, use it as a topping instead of a main dish. Just sprinkle a small handful over Greek yogurt or cottage cheese so that you get the crunch without the sugar crash. I have worked with hundreds of older patients who suffered from leg fatigue, especially on stairs or while standing for long periods. One consistent change that brought fast improvement was cutting out sugary cereals and replacing them with whole food breakfasts. Within weeks, many reported fewer nighttime leg cramps, better energy during the day, and steadier balance while walking. Next up is something you may grab from the deli counter or use in your lunch, but it could be silently choking off leg circulation. Let's slice into Deli Meats. Before we continue, I would love to know a little about you. Comment below with where you are watching from or what leg issue you are working to improve. If building leg strength and better balance matters to you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss practical tips like these. Type 1 in the comments if this content is useful so I know to keep it coming. Processed deli meats might look convenient, but the cost they carry for your circulation and leg health is far too high. One of the biggest concerns is the use of sodium nitrates, which are added to preserve color and extend shelf life. These nitrates do not just sit harmlessly in your food. They actually break down into compounds called nitrosamines that can damage the inner lining of blood vessels. Over time, this damage restricts blood flow, especially to areas furthest from the heart like your calves and feet. When blood flow to the legs is reduced, oxygen delivery drops, and your muscles cannot perform the way they should. This may not be noticeable at first, but over time, it can lead to leg fatigue, tingling, and even cramping after light walking. Do your legs feel tired even on short walks to the mailbox or through the grocery store? Deli meats could be a hidden factor. Most people are surprised to learn how much processed meat can affect the body's ability to oxygenate tissues properly. Another concern is oxidized fats, which form during the high heat cooking and curing process. These damaged fats interfere with how your mitochondria function. Mitochondria are the energy-producing factories inside your muscle cells, and when they do not work well, you feel it as low endurance and weak legs. This becomes even more serious for people with diabetes or heart disease, who already have compromised circulation and cellular function. Then comes sodium, and this is where it really adds up. Just 2 ounces of deli meat, about the amount in a typical sandwich, can have as much as 900 milligrams of sodium. That is more than half of what seniors should consume in an entire day. Excess sodium draws water into the blood vessels, increases pressure, and leads to swelling in the feet, ankles, and lower legs. It also contributes to stiffness, which makes climbing stairs or rising from a chair much more difficult. Some people think that choosing organic deli meats solves the problem, but this is often not the case. The word organic does not mean low in sodium, nor does it guarantee that harmful preservatives are not present. Many organic deli meats still contain similar levels of salt and nitrates, just labeled as natural instead. Have you checked the sodium content in the turkey slices you are buying? Many seniors also mistake deli turkey, or ham, as a lean source of protein. While it may be lower in fat than bacon, these products are still heavily processed, often smoked or cured with sugars and phosphates, and provide little real nourishment. These meats do not deliver the complete amino acid profile needed for muscle maintenance in older adults, and without the right amino acids, leg muscles shrink and lose power. When reading labels, choose only those products that say no nitrates or nitrites added, low sodium, and minimally processed. Ideally, sodium should be under 300 milligrams per serving. If you see the word cured on the label, or if sodium is above 500 milligrams, put it back on the shelf. These meats are more likely to damage your vascular system and promote water retention in the lower body. One of the simplest and most effective swaps is to make your own chicken salad at home. Just use 1 cup of chopped cooked chicken breast. Add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of Greek yogurt, half a teaspoon of mustard, and mix in chopped celery and black pepper. This combination offers clean protein, healthy fats, and anti-inflammatory benefits without added chemicals or salt. It is easy to make and stores well in the fridge for several days. Seniors should aim to stay under 1.5 grams of sodium per day, total. That is a hard target to meet when just 1 sandwich using processed meat can take up 2/3 of that limit. So if you feel sluggish after lunch or notice tightness in your calves after eating, it may not be age, it might be the meat. If you are finding this helpful, tap the like button. Not just for me, but for the many older adults out there trying to stay strong and independent. When you like this video, it helps YouTube show it to more people who really need this information. Let's get it to those who could benefit most. Let's now zoom in on something green and seemingly healthy, but if you are not careful, it could be draining your bones of vital minerals. Time to investigate spinach smoothies. Raw spinach is extremely high in oxalates, around 750 milligrams per cup, which is a chemical compound that binds to calcium inside your body. This binding creates tiny calcium oxalate crystals that your body cannot break down easily. These crystals tend to settle in the joints and kidneys, which over time can lead to pain, reduced flexibility, and even kidney stones. Have you or someone you know ever dealt with painful kidney stones? Let me know how you managed it. Spinach also limits the absorption of magnesium and iron when eaten raw too often, which is especially concerning for older adults who already struggle to maintain mineral balance. Magnesium is essential for preventing leg cramps, while iron is crucial for carrying oxygen to muscles. Without them working properly together, even short walks can start to feel exhausting. Let's break this down further. When older adults consume spinach smoothies every single morning without alternating the ingredients, they put themselves at risk for long-term mineral imbalances. One major concern is the drop in nerve muscle coordination. That coordination depends heavily on proper levels of calcium, magnesium, and iron, which can be compromised by overusing high oxalate foods like raw spinach. On top of that, combining spinach with acidic fruits like oranges or lemons actually increases oxalate absorption in your digestive system. This means your body ends up storing even more of these calcium-binding compounds, especially if you are not steaming the spinach first. Plus, many people use pre-washed bags of spinach to save time, but those often contain chemical preservatives like sodium benzoate. This additive has been linked to higher oxidative stress in cells, which can further damage muscle function. Let's shift our focus to safer and smarter ways to use leafy greens. Steaming spinach for just 1 to 2 minutes reduces oxalate content by about 60%, making it much easier on your body. You can also limit raw spinach to 2 cups per week and instead rotate with other greens like kale, romaine lettuce, parsley, or even dandelion leaves. These greens offer excellent nutrition without overwhelming your system with oxalates. Why not mix things up each week and see which greens your body responds best to? For a healthier smoothie that keeps your legs stronger and your muscles energized, try this. Blend 1 cup of almond milk, half a cup of steamed kale, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, a quarter avocado, and half a frozen banana. It tastes great and gives you healthy fats, fiber, and calcium all at once. I have seen firsthand how reducing raw spinach intake improved health in many of my senior patients. One woman who had been drinking spinach smoothies daily came in with constant joint discomfort and leg weakness. Her DEXA scan showed lower leg bone density than normal for her age. We adjusted her routine by steaming her greens and rotating her smoothie ingredients, and within 4 weeks, she reported better balance and smoother walking. Stick around until the end, because the final 2 changes we talk about can seriously shift how your legs feel and move. One of them is surprisingly simple, and most people have never even heard of it. It could make the difference between steady steps and unsteady ones. Now, we move on to another seemingly harmless comfort food that can weaken leg health over time. Let's examine refined pasta and white bread. These soft carbohydrates might be part of a regular lunch or dinner, but they are far from muscle-friendly. Refined pasta and white bread are known for having a high glycemic index, meaning they cause a rapid spike in blood sugar. This sudden spike forces your body to release a lot of insulin, which, over time, reduces how well your muscles respond to it. That includes the leg muscles that are vital for walking, climbing stairs, and maintaining balance. Do you ever feel sluggish or bloated after a pasta-heavy meal? That could be one reason why. The more you depend on soft, refined carbs, the more likely you are to develop insulin resistance, which has been strongly linked by major research centers to muscle wasting in older adults. Let's dig a little deeper into the nutrient profile of these foods. Refined pasta and white bread often have less than 1 gram of fiber per serving, which is nowhere near enough to support the connection between your digestive health and muscle strength. Fiber supports the gut-muscle axis, a communication pathway where gut bacteria help produce short-chain fatty acids that benefit muscle function. Without fiber, this system gets thrown off, which can result in sluggish movement and chronic leg swelling. On top of that, refined grains offer almost no magnesium and very few B vitamins. Both of these are vital for coordinating messages between nerves and muscles. Without them, your leg reactions can slow down, and your ability to balance can drop fast, especially if you already deal with fatigue or stiffness. Let's continue with the common mistakes many people make. One big one is assuming that anything labeled multigrain is healthy. In reality, most multigrain breads are still made with refined white flour, and the grains are often processed in ways that remove their fiber and nutrients. Another common belief is that toasting white bread somehow makes it less harmful, but that is not true. Toasting does not reduce its glycemic impact or restore any missing nutrients. So, what should you choose instead? One of the best swaps I have seen work for many people is sprouted grain bread. Brands like Ezekiel and Silver Hills use whole sprouted grains, which makes nutrients more available to your body and keeps blood sugar levels more stable. Lentil-based pasta is another excellent choice. It is naturally high in protein and fiber, which supports your leg muscles and keeps you feeling full longer. Adding healthy fats like olive oil and herbs such as oregano or basil brings in anti-inflammatory compounds that help reduce joint swelling. Let's look into label reading for a moment. If you are buying bread, aim for at least 3 grams of fiber per slice and make sure 100% whole grain is the first ingredient listed. Also, avoid anything that says enriched or includes high fructose corn syrup. For pasta, look for those made from lentils, chickpeas, or brown rice. These support muscle function better and help keep sodium intake in check. Keep white pasta servings under 1 cup cooked per day and bread at no more than 2 slices and only if it is whole grain. From my own experience, one patient with long-term knee pain started eating sprouted grain bread and switched to lentil pasta twice a week. After 6 weeks, her walking speed improved and her balance tests scored higher than before. These changes were small but incredibly meaningful for her daily comfort and confidence. Next, we will head into a non-food factor that could transform how your legs feel overnight. Let's take a closer look at the benefits of toe spreader mobility exercises. This might sound small or even trivial at first, but they actually play a big role in improving how your legs function from the ground up. When you use gel or silicone toe spreaders, they activate the tiny intrinsic muscles in your feet. These muscles are responsible for controlling toe alignment, supporting your arches, and helping to stabilize the joints that connect to your legs. Without strength in these small muscles, your ankles, knees, and hips end up carrying the load in an unstable way, which increases your risk of falls or misalignment. Have you ever noticed your toes overlapping or cramping during the day? That might be a signal your foot muscles are not engaging properly. Let's analyze this more thoroughly. Toe spacers help spread the toes into a more natural position, which enhances blood flow in the feet and lower legs. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles, improving endurance and balance. This becomes even more important for people with diabetes or peripheral artery disease, where circulation tends to suffer. Research from the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center supports this approach by linking toe mobility to stronger and more stable gait patterns in older adults. A stable gait reduces the chance of dragging your feet or losing balance while turning, both of which are major causes of falls. Strengthening your ankle flexors through this method is also crucial since these muscles allow you to lift your toes during each step. When these muscles weaken, it leads to what many call a shuffling walk, which can become dangerous on uneven ground. Let's break this down further. You do not need to be active while doing this. In fact, the best time to wear toe spreaders is when you are relaxing. Just 15 to 30 minutes each day while watching television or doing light stretches can activate key foot muscles without strain. To add more benefit, try picking up marbles with your toes or scrunching a towel afterward. These exercises build strength and coordination without needing expensive equipment or a trip to the gym. I suggest starting gradually because using toe spreaders too long at first might cause soreness. And if you have had recent foot surgery or an open wound, hold off until your foot heals. Also, never walk while wearing them. They are meant to be used while seated only. From my clinical experience, I recommend toe spreaders to nearly every senior patient I see, especially those with bunions, overlapping toes, or balance problems. One patient of mine, a 74-year-old with flat feet and mild arthritis, came back after 2 weeks with noticeably less foot fatigue and a much stronger sense of balance when standing up from a chair. These small wins make a big difference over time. Have you ever tried toe spreaders yourself or heard someone mention them? Drop a comment below and let me know how it went or what you are curious about trying. Now we advance to a final wrap-up that gives you a quick way to remember what really matters for leg strength. So here is a fast and practical summary of what we covered today. First, skip the sugary breakfast cereals that flood your body with insulin and block muscle recovery. Then, avoid deli meats, which contain nitrates that tighten up blood vessels and limit circulation to your legs. Also, be careful with raw spinach smoothies because high oxalate levels slowly pull calcium out of your bones and joints. Trade in white bread and pasta for sprouted grain options and legume-based pasta that supports steady energy and reduces swelling. And finally, include toe spreader exercises to build foot strength, improve posture, and keep your legs aligned and balanced. If you picked up something new that could help your daily routine or benefit someone close to you, like this video, subscribe to stay updated and let me know your thoughts in the comments.